So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another video, and today we are looking at the top 5 things you didn't know or have forgotten about RIESE. The original version, not the giant, although some Easter eggs are similar. We are looking at the old version in World at War DLC 3, RIESE. As always, if you're going to enjoy today's video, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest summons videos on the channel, and also click that little bell notification icon as well. But whenever you're ready, here we go. So coming in at number 5 is Project RIESE. Project RIESE and RIESE have some very similar things going on. In fact, we think that Project RIESE is what RIESE is based on. RIESE, German for the Giant, was the code name for a construction project of Nazi Germany from 1943 to 1945. Consisting of 7 underground structures located in the Owl Mountains and Cashier's Castle. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not very good with German, but the castle was located in Lower Silesia. And as we know, RIESE, the map, is located in Lower Silesia, which at the time was part of Nazi Germany and is now part of Poland. But none of these tunnels were finished. All till this day are in different states of completion, with only a small percentage of tunnels actually reinforced by concrete. The purpose of this project remains uncertain because of the lack of documentation, but some sources suggest that all of these structures were part of the Führer's headquarters. According to others, it was a combination of headquarters and army industry, but comparison to similar facilities can indicate that only the castle was adapted as an HQ, or other official residence, and the tunnels and the Owl Mountains were planned as a network of underground factories. The construction work was done by forced labourers, prisoners of war, and prisoners of concentration camps, and many lost their lives, mostly as a result of disease and malnutrition. And you can actually see on RIESE, or it's better on the Giant as it's a more updated version, there's still the same map, same location, same background, but as you can see, these tunnels can be seen in RIESE. If you look here, we have a underground tunnel going deep down with a train down there. There's gold. This could be one of the tunnels that was under construction for Project RIESE. So it's very clear where Treyarch got their idea for RIESE from. Then also outside of RIESE, part of Samantha's Easter egg, we can see we have the bell. The bell, we think, was one of Group 935's very first tests, one of their, I guess you could say, prototype teleporters. You can hear in the radios in RIESE Maxis talking about Die Glock, which is German for the bell, and that once again was a real life thing that the Nazis were doing. Die Glock was a top secret Nazi scientific technological device, a secret weapon, or otherwise known as the Wunderwaffe, but it was supposedly, although it was never seen, a top secret project that was being created by the Nazis. It was a secret weapon, and if you take a look, you can clearly see where Treyarch got the inspiration from for the teleporters that we see in RIESE. And it was supposed to be a kind of teleportation device, just like it is in the game. Apparently it was capable of vortex compression and magnetic field separation, and a Polish person called Wichwowski, I've probably pronounced his name wrong, but he wrote a book on this called The Truth About the Wonder Weapon. Conspiracists claim that the bell supposedly emitted radiation that killed 60 Nazi scientists and could be used to see into the past. Hitler supposedly ordered the device to be taken to South America on a U-boat at the end of World War II, or the Americans captured it and moved it to the USA, where it was used to power a UFO that landed in Kecksburg, PA, or it's hidden somewhere in Area 51. So as you can see, there's a lot of mystery and history behind it as to whether it was actually ever made, but it's clear to see where Treyarch got a lot of their inspiration from, not only for the map itself, but also the technology that was used within there. Next off, coming in at number 4 are the predicted maps that we got for the future that you can find in RIESE. On these boards that you can find within the teleporter rooms is loads of interesting information from pictures and also Illuminati code. First off, you can see there is code on here, and once translated, you get 4 different messages. The first one is Living Dead, the second message is Edward is alive, the third message is Treyarch, and the fourth one is to the community, the fans and our families, thank you we shall return. So some nice little messages we got there back in RIESE. But what was interesting was the pictures of the future zombies maps. But of course, at the time of RIESE, we didn't know what exactly these were. And there's a few different maps. There's Ascension, Paris, Kino der Toten, and Call of the Dead. And obviously all of these maps, besides from Paris, came as future DLCs for Black Ops 1, which shows that Treyarch were planning on continuing zombies, and not only that, they knew the zombies maps they wanted to create almost 2 years before they released. But the interesting thing about this is we can see back in RIESE, they originally planned for DLC 4, Moon. That map, as we know, was supposed to be Paris, and that was even planned back during World at War. We can see zombies in front of the Eiffel Tower. I know it's a little bit difficult to see on screen, especially because it's a World at War game, but you're best off checking this out for yourself. It's still in the game. But you can see zombies in Paris, and as we know from the coding that we can find within Black Ops 1, Moon was originally supposed to be Paris. That zombies map was supposed to be set around the Eiffel Tower and the catacombs. So it's really interesting that we got a look at our future zombies maps within World at War. Coming in at number 3, which is kind of weird considering what I've just said, but in RIESE, you can see Moon. Now, I literally just said that Moon was never supposed to be a map in zombies, but in the end it was. It ended up replacing Paris. But in RIESE, if you take a sniper and zoom in, look at the Moon, you can see there are several orange dots or red dots. And this is Griffin Station. From RIESE, you can see Griffin Station. Of course, we know from the radios that we can hear in RIESE, Richtofen was traveling to and back from the moon, building Griffin Station at this time with Groff, Schuster, and everyone else. And you can clearly see by the time we end up playing RIESE with our 4 characters, Griffin Station is built, and like I said, if you zoom in, you can actually see it. And a lot of people, if you've recently got into zombies, might not actually know this, because on the new version, which is the Giant, Griffin Station is nowhere to be seen, which is weird, and that's kind of always been a little bit hard for me to get my head around. Because in the original timeline, the construction of Griffin Station on the moon begins on March the 13th of 1940. And then, as we know in the original timeline, 5 years later, Richtofen attempted to kill Maxis and Samantha by locking them in the teleporter and teleporting them away. So by the time we get to that, Griffin Station is already built. But then if we go to the new timeline, which the Giant is set in, we can see Griffin Station is no longer there, which means that in this universe, it wasn't built. But as I just said, Griffin Station in the original timeline was built before Richtofen teleported Samantha and Maxis away, and as we know in the Giant, we literally come in after that cutscene. We see in the intro Richtofen teleporting Maxis and Samantha away, so when we play, shouldn't that mean that Griffin Station is already built? As we look, as we can see on the Giant, it's not there. But then again, they are 2 separate universes, so I'm thinking maybe in the Giant universe, since we know it's a fracture, things changed, and obviously Griffin Station was never built. But the strange thing is, Richtofen in the Giant cutscene intro, he's evil, and in order for him to have turned evil, he must have touched the MPD on the moon and got electrocuted by it. That's what happened to him in the original timeline, and if that happened, he obviously knows about Moon, he must have built Griffin Station, and if that's not the case, how on earth did he turn evil in the Giant? It's so confusing. Why? I honestly can't get my head around it. A few things for me don't add up. Maybe you guys could help me in the comments section below, but trust me, a lot of people have tried to explain. I don't know. But getting back to what I was originally saying, you can see Griffin Station on the moon from RIESE. Coming in at number 2 is Teddy is a liar. Across the walls in RIESE, you can see it says Teddy is a liar. And then there's also writing that says Teddy is the biggest liar. Now at the time, we wasn't exactly sure what this meant. We kind of knew that Teddy was Richtofen, or that was our assumption, but then we were a little confused because, as we know, Samantha also has a Teddy, so was this referring to that? But we now kind of have a background to why this is even here and what it actually means. So we know that in the original timeline, Richtofen joined the Illuminati, and then after working for them for a few years, Dr. Maxis, the leader of Group 935, invited Richtofen to join his group, and so Richtofen accepted his request. But he didn't accept it because he exactly wanted to or he was friends with Maxis. He accepted the request to join Group 935 on behalf of the Illuminati's interests. He joined Group 935 so he could report what they were doing back to the Illuminati. But as we know, not long after working for Group 935 on behalf of the Illuminati, Richtofen decided he wanted to quit the group. And in order to leave, he wrote on the walls, "Teddy is a liar." And by writing this, he announced his disabandonment from the group. Richtofen left the Illuminati. So the reason why we see this on the walls is because Edward wrote this so he no longer had to work for the Illuminati. What exactly it means? What exactly is that? What exactly it means, I'm not sure. It could be saying Edward is a liar, meaning maybe he was lying to Maxis and was actually working for the Illuminati, or maybe he's saying that he was lying to the Illuminati and he was never really working for them, or maybe Teddy is someone else. It's kind of weird that Edward would be writing this out and calling himself Teddy if it was actually on about him. Coming in at number 1, I kind of wanted to chuck both of these in here, and one of them relates to the Giant, one of them to RIESE, or kind of both. But first off, the map RIESE, if you didn't know, is based off the campaign mission for World at War called Eviction. All of the World at War Zombies maps are taken from the World at War campaign, from Nakda and Toten, Verrucht, Shinonuma and RIESE, and that was also the same for some of the Black Ops 1 maps, but then after that they were all unique. But RIESE was based off the World at War map Eviction. It was also based off the multiplayer map called Nightfire, so you can actually play it in a few different ways. And the second one, which relates to the new version, the Giant, has been what I would say the most missed Easter egg probably in Zombies. I've never really seen this being spoken about by anyone else, and I'm not really sure why. Now, I've made a few videos on this, but it's super interesting and random and kind of looks like some kind of cipher or code. But on the clock on the wall in the Giant, not the big one in the main area, but the small one, you can see there are both yellow and red dots. Now, you have to zoom in very closely to see these, but under certain numbers, you can see there are different coloured dots, red and yellow, and also different amounts under each number. Now, like I said, I've done videos on this before, and a lot of people have been speculating as to what this could mean. Some people have said that it's Braille. Some people have said that it's a cipher, that these are codes, Morse code, a load of different things that don't really add up. Some people have said that you have to shoot the main clock in this order or link the clocks up in some way to these dots. There's been so much speculation as to what these dots are because they're only on this clock and they're there. It's so random. It's obviously not a mistake. It was intentionally put there by Treyarch for a reason, but what? We don't know. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found out something new. If you have, if you want to see some more top 5s like this, leave a like rating. If we could reach the goal of 2,500 likes, I don't know if we could do that. We haven't reached 2k likes in a while, so if you guys could do that, that'd mean an awful lot. Thank you for watching the videos. Make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Let me know what you want to see next in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.